Welcome to the Noble Podcast, everyone. I am Michael Chakrian, the attorney at Noble Attorneys, and we do have some attorneys here today who unfortunately thought this was a good idea. Anyways, I hope you enjoy, and if you do, please like, subscribe. As you know, that's how good content keeps getting made. So anyways, let's introduce our guests. You want to start?
Sure. My name is Gary Ter-Kazaryan. I'm one of the founding partners of Sentry Legal Group.
And I'm Arthur, Arutyunyants, Gary's partner at Sentry Legal Group as well.
All right. And how do we know each other?
Well, Mike and I have had the pleasure of working together, against each other actually, on a couple of cases while I was still doing defense work way back when.
And I've had the lovely pleasure of knowing Mike for many years. Our relationship goes back to a more adolescent time where we played a lot of sports together, pre-law, and then became closer once we both became attorneys.
Yeah. But you were also on the dark side.
I was. Gary and I were both on the dark side for the last 2 years of our defense kind of experience. We worked at the same firm, and then one day decided, let's stop working for the insurance companies and start working for the people. And
All right.
we decided to open up Sentry Legal Group.
What was it that made you want to do that?
Well, at least for me, doing good work wasn't necessarily enough. On the insurance side of things, while you're representing an insurance company, they're not a person. There's no satisfaction that comes, from doing good work. And so feeling unfulfilled with kind of what I was doing day in, day out, I thought, why not make the switch and represent good people and fight for their rights, fight for their benefits. And what better way than, with Arthur over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because as he was saying, I did know him a long time. We played a bunch of soccer together back in the day. Hopefully he'll make it back out one of these days.
Yeah.
If my back allows it.
What would you say the biggest changes day to day from being insurance side and then going to applicant side?
I would say the obvious one is the lack of billing, of
Yeah.
course. You no longer have to account for every minute of your working day, but more kind of specifically to the practice, you're now a businessman. You don't just look at the legal work. Of course, you have that aspect of it, but you're now in charge of the A to Z from not only the case itself, but the business side of the law firm. You've got to be in charge of kind of the marketing, the getting your name out there, doing the content that you otherwise wouldn't have to be worried about.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a little bit of a shock at first, but then you quickly realize that it also adds a little bit of more fun to your day-to-day job.
Sure.
You get to be the lawyer that you always wanted to be. Sure, that's great. But you also now have this business side to your day-to-day work that now adds a little something fun, a little something different.
Okay, sure. And you like that business side too, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you also noticed the role that AI has introduced to the business side? Have you started messing around at all with AI or no?
I think we both have. I think we've used ChatGPT for a couple of things here and there. We've definitely asked for some help when it comes to marketing and figuring out the best way to put our information out there, put our names out there. And as we go further down this path, I think we're realizing AI is going to be playing a bigger and bigger role, not only in the business side of things, but also soon on the legal side.
But you didn't use it before, right?
Hardly ever. I don't know about you, Gary, but I never used it.
No.
Before you left your old firm.
Right. No, never.
No, never had a need to.
So one of the things I wanted to do with the podcast is bring people on who, let's say you guys who haven't been around for years and years, to have thousands of testimonials from clients and different attorneys, and give you guys a platform that you can show basically others who are listening, watching, what you guys bring to the table. Okay? And the reason I brought up AI is because our friend ChatGPT, he helped me prepare some of this material. All right? Sorry, yeah. I told you guys I just had a baby.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had like a few hours to prep, and I think I got some good material. I'm basically going to be testing you guys. in a
Okay.
way. And to your utmost limits, what I think are good qualities as attorneys, the ability to think on your feet, your knowledge, creativity,
Okay.
and also a little bit about yourselves, just philosophy, how you guys think.
Sure.
You guys ready to jump in?
I don't know that we'll be ready, but let's try.
Okay. Okay, so the first segment that I prepared is called GPT or law degree. All right, so this is basic test of knowledge. Things that you guys know, short answer. I want to see how close your guys' response lines up with ChatGPT's.
Okay.
All right.
Should be fun.
And if it's close enough, you'll get a point. I'm not sure what the points mean yet, but
We'll get there.
we'll keep a score.
Yeah.
All right. Short answers, 2-3 sentences at most.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I would volunteer Gary always.
Fair. Let's do it.
Okay. What is the role of an agreed medical examiner in a workers' compensation case?
An agreed medical examiner is someone both sides have agreed to evaluate the applicant on a neutral basis and issue a medical report on various issues that include causation, apportionment, permanent disability, and to flush out a lot of issues that might otherwise be disputed if you went with a qualified medical evaluator, for example.
Okay. So you got most of it, but let's keep it short. It's only the answers are only 2 sentences.
Okay.
All right. Art.
Here we
Can an employee be fired while out on workers' compensation leave, and why?
Just like with everything in the law, the answer is it depends. Of course, you're protected under federal and state law for leave for medical reasons, among other issues. But eventually, the employer is put in a position where they might need to terminate your position if you're gone for too long. So it's not black and white, and it definitely depends on the facts.
Okay. Again, I think you covered it, but
Too long.
too long. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think
We're getting used to it.
yeah. I think we're gonna say the next. It has to be just 2 sentences max.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Gary, who pays for the benefits an injured worker receives in workers' compensation?
Well, the short answer is the insurance company from the insurance policy,
Okay, for the work comp insurance.
for the work comp insurance
All right,
policy.
I think that gets a point. Art, what is a compromise and release in workers' compensation, and when might it be used?
It is a form of settlement that's used at the end of a case. It's a lump sum settlement that resolves all issues in your case.
Okay, checks out. I think, again, you guys are doing a great job. Are you sure you don't work for OpenAI?
I sure wish I did, man.
I've actually got a feed in my ear right now giving me the answers.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to check up on that later. Okay, in California, what is the going and coming rule, and how does it apply to workers' compensation?
Sure. So the going and coming rule applies to your trips to and from work, and depending on whether or not you were making a trip to or from work on behalf of the employer, you could also file a claim that you otherwise may not have.
Okay. Good job. Arthur, how does the independent medical review process work in workers' compensation?
Oh, that's a terrible one. I mean, I don't even think ChatGPT can answer this one correctly.
I had to throw in a hard one.
sentences.
Okay, it doesn't is the answer. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It is terrible. I mean, look, realistically, the short answer is it's supposed to review the request for authorization of treatment and to determine whether it's medical and reasonable, and the determination of whether it's medical and reasonable if that was correct or not.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
Pretty
good. Yeah. So far for the warm up, we're solid.
That was
This
a warm up.
is a warm up.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Fair.
Is the lightning round coming up?
No, the round next is the wrench. Because
Here we go.
when you have a case and someone throws a wrench at it and it all goes wrong, I'm sure you've seen this before.
Time and again.
Okay. So during this segment, I'm going to give you guys a hypo and you're going to break down short answer again, your strategy, your approach. How do you preserve the case here?
Okay.
And the reason I wrote it this way is because, as you saw earlier, the questions before were more general, but this is more specific to you. And there's no right or wrong answer, right? Because
Right.
all attorneys work differently, but it'll give anyone listening a chance to see how you think, which is rare before someone hires you.
I agree.
Yeah. So you got the last one, right, Arthur?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay, Gary. You're representing a client in a workers' comp case. Your client hurt her back while lifting heavy boxes in her office. Throughout the case, your client asserted that she never had prior back problems. However, during a deposition, she let slip that she once pulled her back while gardening at home a couple of years before her work-related injury. This new information contradicts her previous statements and complicate the case. How do you strategize to mitigate the potential damage?
Okay, that's actually a really good one. So, in work comp, there's a big difference between an exacerbation and an aggravation. An aggravation would imply that you've had a permanent increase in the prior injury, whereas an exacerbation implies a temporary increase. So, my position would be that while she may not have disclosed it, all it was meant to be was an exacerbation. She may have slightly tweaked her back, got over it, and that's why she didn't think anything of it and didn't mention it at a deposition.
Yeah, solid. I think I would agree. That's literally the argument I thought of when I read this question. Okay. Art, you're representing a client with a head injury from a workplace incident. The initial symptoms indicated potential concussion, but the QME report, AME report, whatever, suggests that your client suffered a minor head injury with no long-lasting effects. How would you handle this case?
So there's a couple of things. First, you'd want to object to the report and set the cross-examination of the doctor. The cross-examination is key because doctors miss a lot of things. They don't review the records accurately. Sometimes they have third parties that review them for them. A lot of times they miss issues or just don't understand the necessary applicable law or standard to their medical decision. So the cross-examination is vital to question him and make sure he has all the right facts. The second thing is to make sure that that applicant is being seen by a treater who can address all of the issues, the symptoms, and the complaints. And if the treater is disagreeing with the QME, well, then you don't always have to rely on the QME. You can go to trial, you can push forward and aggressively pursue acceptance of the case or benefits based on what the treater says and not what the QME says.
Sure. And you've seen this on the other end too, right?
Absolutely.
And what would you do on the defense side?
On the defense, we do the opposite. We would strengthen the QME's report, his favorable findings for the defense. And how we do that is by sending him maybe correspondence with additional records to further show that his report's substantial. And if a cross-examination comes up, you prepare and make sure you counter any bad testimony that comes out of the doctor. Yeah. So you're always, it's this approach of doing the opposite that the other party wants, where either you're trying to hurt the report or strengthen it.
Sure. Good job. Sorry, I didn't picture you guys being so on point with the answers.
Oh, thank you.
Like, it's possible we wrote the AI, man.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Gary. Your client works at a factory where he suffered a lung damage injury due to constant exposure to harmful chemicals. The client, however, is a long-term smoker. During deposition, he reveals his smoking history, which could complement the determination of causation. How would you handle this situation?
Well, first and foremost, working at a warehouse requires that the warehouse maintain data sheets with the materials that were used and the chemicals that they were exposed to. We would foremost get the copy of those records, send them to the QME to confirm whether or not those chemicals could cause the type of injury that the injured workers had. The smoking would come in for purposes of apportionment, but as long as we could demonstrate causation through the chemicals he was exposed to, we can still get a solid recovery.
Yeah. You have anything to add?
Beautifully said.
See, I'm telling you.
Short and succinct, just like you wanted.
You guys are killing it right now. Okay. Let's keep it going. There's only a few more, but they're getting a little bit harder now.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh, good luck.
During the trial, the employer introduces surveillance footage that shows your client doing physical activities contradicting the severity of the disability they've claimed. So given this unexpected evidence, what would be your strategy to handle the situation?
So if that part of it is more of a procedural issue that you're going to object to, because they're required to serve sub rosa, it's called sub rosa surveillance. They are required to serve the sub rosa surveillance prior to trial. In fact, if you want to present that to a QME, you've got to serve it to the parties before you do so. If you want to present any evidence at trial, period, sub rosa or otherwise, you need to serve it to the other side. So you cannot enter evidence for the first time at trial. That is a procedural defect, and any good attorney would quickly object and have that expunged or expelled, and it wouldn't come in.
Bingo.
Sorry, I was trying to do too much on that one.
You hit it on the head there.
No, it's good. It's good. And I think that is a very good point. And I'm happy you said it, that no evidence could be introduced at trial. All needs to come beforehand.
With one small exception being that you couldn't in good conscience and through due diligence, you couldn't obtain the evidence beforehand.
Correct.
Sure.
If it literally came up after the trial because it didn't exist before,
Sure.
then it's up to a judge to decide. But for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you saw the applicant doing push-ups in the hallway,
Slightly different story.
yeah, you could probably bring that in.
Okay, how about this one? During trial, a coworker who had initially supported your client's claim of injury on the job I don't know what term they use here, but does a complete about face on the stand. What is
Presumably,
it? Is it talking about the emoji or like a question mark?
No, I think he's doing, when they say about face, it's a military term where you quickly turn around and give the salute to the commanding officer as they walk in. So basically did a full 180. That's what I interpreted
That's what I
from that.
understood too, but I wasn't sure what the term was.
Yeah,
About face.
I believe that's where he got it from.
Yeah.
But to answer that question,
So hold on, I'll finish.
oh, please.
Instead, stating that your client often talked about his weekend mountain biking activities and might have been injured there. How would you handle this change in testimony?
Well, I would call that coworker to the stand and completely crush him on the prior testimony that is now completely changed for the first time. And, just because the injured worker may or may not have said something to this coworker, the fact that he's never mentioned it before and is now doing it for the first time at a trial is really, really going to affect your credibility and whether or not we believe anything you're really saying.
Sure. How do you guys feel so far?
So far, I feel great. This has been fun.
Yeah. I think you guys are doing great. I thought it would be someone would pull ahead, but you guys have both been
Well, thank you for taking the time. I know in your busy schedule
solid.
as a new father, putting together this script for us.
At this point of my prep, I started getting crazy a little bit.
Okay.
So, you know what's crazy? On the way here, what we had talked about in the car, it tied in so well with this next segment, and let me bring it up. So there's going to be an exercise. That's why we brought the notepads. So I'm going to say you have 2 or 3 minutes to write any rhyme about workers' comp. And once that's done, I'm going to play an instrumental, and you're going to try to recite it.
Oh, man.
It could be any rhyme.
Oh, man.
The simplest rhyme. So if you want to do this, keep it easy, you can. But style points will be very much appreciated by me, especially now that I know that you guys both were involved with music at some point in your lives.
I don't know if just listening to music makes me involved with music, but I appreciate the shout out.
All right?
I'm ready. Let's give it a shot.
I'm not ready, but I'll give it a shot.
Perfect.
A few moments later.
All right. All right, we're going to start with you.
I need 30 more seconds.
Okay.
He's like, I need another podcast.
Yeah. Maybe Gary starts, and it's so good that it inspires
It
art.
is not going to be good.
Okay.
But it will rhyme kind of.
I mean, mine rhymes. I don't know that I would call these bars. This is like a haiku from elementary school. I don't even need, I don't know. I'd rather. All right, Gary, let's see what you got.
Hold on. Give me 10 more seconds.
Yeah, so this part, I was thinking just what you would never see
Okay.
from an attorney.
And this is it.
Never in 2 million years.
Yeah, and I thought the only way I could get this to happen is by not telling you anything about
I
it.
agree. No one would have showed up if you told me I was going to be doing arts
If you
and
told me
crafts.
this is what we were doing, I would have rescheduled, my guy. All right, let's see what happens.
Mine's more of like a poem.
All right, I'm down.
Okay, I don't even need the beat.
It could
though.
be anything. There's
Okay,
no judgment.
I'm just
here.
gonna read it. I'm just gonna read
I'll
it.
play it low.
I'm
I'll
not
play it
gonna
Just let
rap
him
it.
play.
Yeah, you
All
got
right.
it.
Let,
You got
him,
it.
let us hear it.
Again, it's like 3 bars total.
Okay, go.
All right. Post termination, frustration, pursuit of liberty through litigation. Call Sentry Legal for a free consultation.
Okay,
Oh my God.
it's good.
Somebody get this
mean,
man a label.
You got
Yeah.
a little work comp in there.
Jacob and Ronnie, you have competition.
Holy cow.
Does he have something like this?
No, that's the whole point. You're
Oh,
the
okay.
first.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that was...
Yeah, I guess if you need someone who's gonna,
Hey, I don't know that I want to follow that up
if you
now.
need an attorney who's gonna rhyme his way to victory, I guess we can help you out.
Well,
All right, that was good.
I appreciate
For
it.
3 lines, you hit.
Yeah.
They all hit hard.
Thank you.
all right,
Gary.
well, I'm going to
Well,
try. I'm going to try.
You have to carry the verse of this now. That was the chorus, right?
That was the chorus. Now I
Yeah.
got to carry the... All right.
Here, I'll put
Hit
it
that
up.
soprano vocal. I know you can.
All right. Let it run. Let it run. Let me get my intro here. You know? If I gotta do
I know
it.
this is gonna be the best part of this podcast for
Okay.
sure.
All right. Work comp attorney. What happened to you? Fell off a gurney? Are you still hurting? We represent Sentry. Fly high like... Hold on.
No,
I
no,
messed that up.
chill.
I messed it up. Hold on.
Yeah, no,
All right,
you
all
had
right.
it. You had it.
All right,
He's coming
all right,
back.
I
You're
got
gonna
it. I
have
got
to
it.
run it back.
We represent Sentry Legal. Fly high like an eagle.
All right.
Hold on.
No. You got more. He's got more.
Hold on,
He's
I got more.
He's got a whole page.
I got it. All right. Getting you benefits, writing up all the hits. Boom. None of us
that's
were
what we
prepared,
get.
but I actually liked Art's much better than mine.
I'll sign it and you can put it up on the
Good job,
wall.
Art.
I appreciate you.
All right. So next, this one is a little bit easier. I would
Thank
say
God.
you have 1 minute. Instead of explaining who you are as a pitch as an attorney, I want you to draw it.
Okay.
More arts
All
and
right.
crafts. All right. Draw a picture of what you represent.
Yeah, and then explain what it is that you drew.
Man, you're really asking a lot for
There's no limit on what I
type
can draw
A
here.
lawyers.
Nothing.
All right. I got it. I got this.
A few moments later.
I think we're gonna say time on it.
Okay, that's fair.
Gary's,
gonna try
Gary's
to draw.
getting-
All right.
Gary's getting in way too deep.
No,
I got-
he's got a family drawn. I like
You
that.
know?
See, you
All right,
kept it
let's see it.
simple.
All right,
Let's see it.
so let me pull it up for the cameras. So I drew what I like to think is a flag here, and I put in, because obviously you can't see any colors, red, blue, and orange, because
Armenian,
I'm
okay.
Armenian.
Yes.
This is a drawing of my family, myself, my wife, lovely 3-year-old daughter, and this what was my representation of a balance scale here. So I'm an Armenian dad who just so happens to be an attorney, and I'm here today telling everyone about it.
Perfect. Oh, you have anything?
I mean, I drew a picture of a really bad picture of a gavel, and it's the first thing that came to mind because I think ever since I was kind of in law school around
Yeah.
that time, I just always envisioned myself as the end goal one day being a judge.
Oh, that's cool.
And I don't know that that's true now because you learn a lot about the legal profession and what it takes to be a lawyer, what it takes to be a judge even, and things change.
Yeah.
But it's just, I think, goes to who I am because I've always wanted to be fair and balanced.
Sure.
And well, that's literally what Fox News' logo is. I should probably not use that phrase. I always wanted to be
He's fighting
fair
himself.
in
Yeah.
the way I approached kind of interpretation of law, the way I approached relationships, friends, everything in life. That was all about that balance and that fairness for me.
Okay.
And so that gavel, I think, represents that.
Cool.
I could see it, right? Like you could see him being a judge. It would make perfect sense, actually.
Thank you.
I think that
I don't
that's cool.
necessarily know what's going to
For-
happen, but
For this exercise, I think we got much better results than what I thought we'd get.
Oh man, I thought it was terrible.
only thing missing, a little Armenian coffee cup over there.
Yes. All right, I'm ready to write down some more stuff. I feel like you got more stuff
No,
cooking.
that's it for the
Oh, thank
creative
God.
section.
I knew I was getting ready. I'm
Arts
like,
and crafts is done.
all
Thank
right.
you.
I couldn't do more than this to you guys.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the last section that I thought of. I think so. We get unique answers. I think it would be good if one of you like goes away while I ask the other one because they're just quick questions.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll bring you. We'll switch, and then
It's like the newlywed game.
yeah, kind of.
I was thinking more Family Feud, but I like it.
So let's start. Why don't I ask Gary?
All right. Do I got to write this down?
No.
Okay.
Just it shouldn't take long. Just quick off the hip questions.
All right.
Good luck, Gary.
Gonna need it.
All right.
Don't be listening.
Yeah. Pretend like you can't hear us.
Yeah.
All right, Gary. First response.
Let's do it.
Quick.
Got it.
If you could go back and uninvent something, what invention would you erase from history?
Ooh, nuclear bomb.
Okay. If you were food, what food would you be?
Ooh, Armenian barbecue.
Okay. What cute cartoon character would absolutely be terrifying if it existed in the real world?
Oh, God. Bugs Bunny.
What two animals would you like to switch the sounds they make?
Owls and crocodiles.
If we lived in a world where everyone's thoughts appeared as text above their head, what would yours say right now?
Holy shit, what am I doing?
If you could know the internet search history of any one individual, who would it be?
Oh, my God. George Bush.
What weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you could?
Calling people out for the stupid things that they do immediately as it happens on the spot.
Okay. If your life was made into a movie, which actor would play you?
Man, Brendan Fraser.
What sound do you think you would miss most if you went deaf?
That's a tough one. The school bell ring.
Okay. If you could be a kid again for just one day, which age would you choose to be?
Oh, easy question. 7 years old, second grade.
And this one's tough. You could take your time. If you find a book and begin to read only to discover that it's your life, you get to the point that you are at right now, do you turn the page knowing that you won't be able to change the events to come?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't turn the page. I would stop reading because at some point you have to realize I don't want to know how it ends right now.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Not bad, right? This
Yeah.
Easy?
That it was easy but hard. Yeah. But I feel like I've thought about that before.
Art, where are you? Here he is.
I'm looking forward to hearing some of the specific question answers. I really look forward to hearing what Art has to say.
So you're going to ask me the same ones?
Same questions. And
Surprisingly, I could hear Gary's voice, but I couldn't hear you.
good.
Well,
It
it just sounded super random.
Yeah, very random.
All right, let me see.
All right, you ready? Where are you going? No, you already know the questions. Yeah, you already know the questions.
All right, I'm curious if yours is going to be more interesting.
All right. Ready?
Ready.
Quick answers.
Quick.
All right. If you could go back and uninvent something, what invention would you erase from history?
Nuke.
Nuke. Same answer. If you were food, what food would you be?
Sushi.
Sushi. What cute cartoon character would be absolutely terrifying if it existed in the real world?
Cute cartoon character? I can't even think of one. My first thought of cartoon character was Johnny Bravo, but he's not cute.
What two
I don't know why.
two animals would you like to switch the sounds they make?
Ooh, mouse and an alligator.
If we lived in a world where everyone's thoughts appeared as text above their head, what would yours say right now?
Man, I hope he edits out the rap.
If you could know the internet search history of any one individual, who would it be?
Probably my wife.
Your life was made into a movie, which actor would play you?
Oh my God. Only because people tell me this, but Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, that's
Holy cow, that makes so much sense.
What sound do you think you would miss most if you went deaf?
What sound would I miss most? My daughter's laugh.
Oh, well, that's a reasonable stat. I said school bell
school
ring.
bells.
Okay. Okay.
If you could
like
be
for recess,
yeah, if you could be a kid again for just one day, which age would you choose to be?
probably 9.
9. Oh,
Yeah.
you guys would be close. All right, this is a bonus question, and it's a little bit deeper. You find a book and begin to read only to discover that it is your life. You get to the point that you are at now. Do you turn the page knowing that you will not be able to change the events to come?
If I'm being really honest, I'd probably read like 2 pages and that's it.
Seriously?
But I wouldn't go to the end.
So just the next few months?
Just want to be like, the next year maybe.
He's like, let me just read another couple of paragraphs.
You know why? And I'll tell you why.
Let's stop.
Only to test if it actually is going to come true or not. That's it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I wouldn't want to know the end.
All right, good job, guys. You have survived the grilling process.
The gauntlet.
I'm not gonna lie. I liked your mouse and crocodile. I said owl and crocodile.
Where did the crocodile come from?
I don't know.
why.
But could you imagine like an alligator crocodile comes up on you and just goes, "Whoo!"
That's what I thought. It would be weird.
It'd be so weird.
It would be weird.
That's how your mind thinks. I like it.
So yeah, now that you guys survived the gauntlet, I feel like the only reward I could do is give you guys a 1-minute pitch to plug your office and
Fair enough.
say what you gotta say. Who's
All right.
gonna do it?
You want to do it? You want me to do it?
Up to you. I feel like you're the face of Sentry Legal Group, so if you'd like
Sure.
to plug us, go for it.
All right. First of all, Mike, thank you for having us. Noble attorneys, you're a great attorney. I've had cases against you. I know what you're capable of, and anyone would be lucky to be represented by you.
Thank you,
First
Gary.
and foremost. Secondly, thank you everyone for listening to the podcast. Again, my name is Gary. I'm one of the founding partners of Sentry Legal Group. You know, we're defense attorneys who want to do the right thing, and so we left our prior jobs so that we could make a difference for good people. And that's exactly what we intend on doing. We will fight tooth and nail for your benefits. We will be available. We will be transparent. We'll be open. We will be in touch with you, and we'll get you every benefit that you're entitled to. So if you think that's something that, quantifies or sums up what you're looking to get out of your workers' compensation case, then we're the right attorneys for you.
Why should they hire you, Gary?
Well, quite honestly, we're going to fight just as hard as everyone else. The benefit, over us and, the next competitor is our sheer, level of communication that we have with our clients. Most of my clients have my cell phone number. They'll call me directly, and they'll ask me a question on a Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, and I'm happy to help them out because that's what we do.
Yeah. I wanted the discussion to show that, we are approachable. Like, my clients have my cell phone too, yours too.
Yeah.
So, that's literally what we're going for here. And that's why I wanted to bring you guys on. I think you guys are very cool, down-to-earth attorneys and friends. So thank you guys for
Thank you,
coming.
Mike.
Thank you, Mike. The feeling is mutual.
Do
Yeah,
you have
absolutely.
anything else?
Appreciate. No, just wanted to echo what Gary said. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure. And next time we'll come up with some creative ways to test your knowledge.
Yeah, I'm in. Next time I know I'm in for it. Oh yeah. So
Thanks,
thank
Mike.
you guys, and thanks to our host. This is a beautiful place.
Everyone.
Tune in, like, and subscribe. If you like the podcast, we will be trying to do this with different attorneys, different guests, and if you have any ideas for segments, anything you want me to ask future guests, please let me know. Thank you guys.